Your Putin is a disgrace. Your Putin is a disgrace. What the Kremlin feared most has begun in Russia. Military personnel and government deputies have started to come out against Putin. We are all for one. We are all for one. In Russia, cold, hungry, and military uprisings are beginning. We are freezing. We're freezing. We're freezing. Russians are coming out en masse against Putin.
How much longer are you going to rob us? We're being openly and brazenly robbed. All of us. And you too, dear police officers.
They're coming out against the Kremlin.
We're not North fucking Korea, damn it. We're Russia, for fuck's sake.
And against the war.
Russia needs to be broken up.
And that's it, and then it'll all go to hell.
For the first time, Russian soldiers are openly ready to go against the Kremlin. They openly say they don't understand what they're dying for.
Why are we even fighting? If they're not paying us nothing, they're not doing anything at all. Why are we fighting? We're losing our legs there.
Right now I have only one question. What did I fight for?
These devastating financial losses. Oh, they are painfully real and undeniable.
How many of our fellow guys have been killed?
For nothing.
And in addition to the military, Russian deputies are sensationally stating outright, Putin is to blame. The goals of the so-called special military operation are basically unattainable, and Russia needs to capitulate.
In order to immediately stop the war in Ukraine, the deputies must share responsibility with President Putin for the failure of the special military operation.
There is panic in the Kremlin. They are afraid of a coup d'etat.
Order needs to be restored. They're trying to stage another 1917 for us. It's absolutely obvious. When we're one step away from victory, they're trying to destabilize us from within to blow up our country. They want to break up Russia.
Russia is taking to the streets again. Red Square is turning into a symbol of fear and anger. Nationalists, musicians, artists are rebelling, even those who just yesterday were shouting for the motherland.
And then all hell will break loose.
You need to completely shut down YouTube, shut down Instagram, and also shut down WhatsApp. We're not fucking North Korea, for fuck's sake.
Russians are being deprived of their property and homes.
Stores were closing. I'm walking down Nevsky. The coffee shop is closed, the store is closed.
Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich.
Are you out of your mind? You've lost your mind. Do you understand those in power?
Vladimir Vladimirovich.
Stop all these wars.
How much longer can this go on? Maybe it's time to stop the war already. Maybe it's time to stop the bloodshed. Maybe it's time to stop the sacrifices.
How much longer? Period. No more questions. That's all.
Russia's economy is collapsing. There's no money. Businesses are shutting down.
Stop this quiet bureaucratic execution.
Wait, stop.
Please stop this right now.
Vladimir Vladimirovich, use your authority. No. No. No.
Protests have now completely engulfed the working class of the Rashists all across the country.
Because this Vati is nothing more than outright robbery of the people. How did we live in the Soviet Union without these predatory taxes?
This is merely a way of patching up significant gaps in the budget, at our own expense.
We must say no to the VAT increase. And we must say no to the proposed escalation in environmental recycling fees.
I want to say something about these rallies. If our militia, or as it's called now, the police, can't do their job, can't handle things, then we men are ready to go out ourselves and defend our stability.
Small and medium-sized businesses of the Rashists are shutting down by the thousands.
I've run out of money, and we're closing the coffee shop on Chekhov Street. This is our last week of operation.
We are ruined. Every month I have to pay about 1.5 million in taxes.
Right now I'm really living in economy mode. I can see how much money is going out. I'm very worried. And for the first time in many years, 15 years in business, I'm anxious and afraid. This is a crisis, a truly large-scale one, and I'll say it again.
On Avito, stores are closing in droves, people are selling their businesses, and they're not even hiding the reason. They openly write due to the increase in VAT.
In Moscow, the wealthiest region of Russia, the question isn't whether to close or not. The question is when to close.
From Moscow and St. Petersburg to the regions, there are spontaneous protests. Russia is entering a phase of mass internal crisis, which the Kremlin no longer controls. This is a systemic breakdown.
I constantly recall Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov and his words, "To save humanity, the atomic bomb should have been dropped on the Kremlin."
And the voice grows louder. Putin, how much longer?
No, Russia has had enough of war already. Enough! It's about time Russians had something to be happy about.
The economy is plunging into an abyss, and hungry, freezing riots are starting.
Oh, what a nightmare. It's expensive.
I really love Sirtaki cheese. It used to be 169, now it's 269. The price went up by 100 rubles. That's almost 60%.
Is it normal for cucumbers to cost $500,000? Since when did a cucumber and tomato salad become a delicacy here?
While the Kremlin tries to freeze Ukraine with missiles and drones, Russia itself is freezing right under Putin's nose.
It's never enough for them, well, because everything is stolen, you know? Crooks and thieves. Crooks and thieves. There's no other way to call them.
We've been hit with tributes from all sides. Vladimir Vladimirovich, can you tell us what's going on? Do you have any kind of plan about this?
As planned.
Food prices are rising.
What's happening with food prices? What are we supposed to eat? Pasta with water?
I'm just curious, how long will products in stores keep shrinking while the price tags keep getting fatter?
Things I had to give up in 2026 because they became too expensive. Cucumbers, 330 rubles, and that's not even for a kilo.
They're jamming the signal.
In Sochi and Rostov, as far as I know, and in Krasnodar after 10 in the evening.
Right now, for example, at 8 o'clock tonight at this time today, they have completely blocked the connection. This is a desperate cry from the heart. Turn off YouTube, turn off Instagram, and turn off WhatsApp. We're not fucking North Korea, damn it, we're fucking Russia! Since there's no access to the internet right now, that's not our problem as consumers. And it's not mine!
Russia is being swept by mass protests.
You've lost your mind. You've gone insane. Do you understand, authorities?
How is this possible today?
War. War!
Moscow, Petersburg, the regions.
Moscow, hello everyone. The car of the head of the operational training department of the General Staff of the Armed Forces was blown up, and now another explosion has occurred.
Rostov, families of war participants declare a hunger strike.
We are formally requesting urgent assistance from the United States federal government.
We are unhappy people. It turns out to be a vicious circle. It's as if you gave all this with one hand, and with the other hand, you took everything away from the people.
You abandoned the authorities. Authorities! You abandoned our people, you just abandoned them.
We are declaring a hunger strike.
Russia is entering February not just with frosts, but with an economic and utility catastrophe. And this isn't a collapse that happened overnight. It's a slow decay, and it has already begun.
We have a small family business, a bakery. We understand perfectly well that the country is in a difficult situation. We understand that raising taxes is a necessity. First,
it's about money, budget money. As we've already said, there is a critical shortage of budget funds, and the shortage will only get worse.
Against the backdrop of a humanitarian and utility catastrophe, an increase in VAT, and a tightening of tax policy, up to 30% of small and medium-sized businesses in Russia are shutting down. It has gotten to the point where Russian propagandists are suggesting that Trump should kidnap the head of the central bank, Nabulina.
Just like he orchestrated the kidnapping of Maduro. Why shouldn't his special forces fly to Neglinaya and kidnap the head of the central bank?
Against the backdrop of the VAT increase and the tightening of tax policy, up to 30% of small and medium-sized businesses in Russia are shutting down. These aren't corporations, they're bakeries, pharmacies, auto repair shops, stores, and transport companies. These are the businesses that keep life going in small towns and villages across Russia. Russian officials no longer even try to hide it. The civilian economy has become an appendage of the military.
We decry high prices.
Everything keeps getting worse and worse, and everything is getting more expensive.
the situation is difficult. To be honest, we look to the future without optimism.
The cost of the war started by Putin against Ukraine is coming back to Russia like a boomerang. Food prices go up every week, wages are losing value, and the standard of living is dropping to a critical minimum. People can't cope anymore. Mass protests are erupting across the regions because of prices and poverty.
I was just out shopping for work. Honestly, I was just shocked by the prices. What cost 250 to 300 rubles before New Year's now costs over 500. What used to cost over 500 is now 1,000. The bare minimum is 2,800, and I actually left with a half-empty bag.
Well, friends, here we are starting the new year, 2026. My husband just went to the store. How much do you think all of this cost? 3,000. Three grand?
Old man, did I sleep through something? Or what happened? When did pasta start costing 500 rubles?
There's panic in the Kremlin. Instead of solving problems, they shut down the internet, block WhatsApp and Telegram so that Russians can't tell the truth about how they're living. The authorities are afraid of hunger riots because the economy is heading into the abyss.
The price of bread is going up by 14 to 15% starting January 1st. Why?
It's becoming painfully clear that there's simply not enough money.
This year it's zero. Well, or close to zero. Sometimes my STM just sits idle.
Doshirak used to be 54 rubles. Now the exact same one is 73. That's 35%. A Ritter Sport chocolate bar, here it says assorted varieties, look, 99 rubles. The cheapest one I found was 199 rubles. So that's double, it went up by 100%. Look, a Tula gingerbread used to be 44 rubles, now it's 49 rubles, and that's only 11%. Everyone's switching to Tula gingerbread.
The very nature of the processes happening today shows that our economy has been set back significantly. Frankly, what's happening to our economy is something people should be held accountable for.
And the war is devouring the country's last resources. Russia is rapidly sinking to the bottom, and this is the direct cost of aggression against Ukraine.
What is even going on?
Well, here the special military operation happened.
The Kremlin, meanwhile, Russian propagandists are all shouting in unison to the fascists, endure it, because that's the price of war.
War is an expensive business. War is not free, because we are all bearing the financial burden for this ongoing conflict, for the so-called special military operation.
So in reality, the country is collapsing into a wild economic crisis, into that very stagflation.
All of this will end soon.
For the first time in St. Petersburg and in several regions, there is a total blackout.
If you look closer over there, you can see people asking for jelly and for light.
Looks like there won't be any electricity now.
I've never seen anything like this. They shut down the whole city, I think.
This is just insane.
Power is out in the neighborhood.
Damn, it's so dark. It's fucked up.
Honestly, I don't even know anymore. I walked away from home and I'm looking for anywhere that still has light. Just look at this.
Moscow, St. Petersburg, Murmansk, Severomorsk, Omsk, the Moscow region. It's -20 outside and only +6 in the apartments. People are without heat, without electricity, without money. Small businesses are shutting down, prices are rising, taxes are suffocating. Russians are liking this so-called special military operation less and less.
As long as the fighting continues, as long as the special operation goes on, people endure. But the closer peace gets,
the more people will start voicing everything they've been holding in. And there's a lot they've been holding in. No kidding.
Up to the hilt, up to the hilt.
A utilities collapse has engulfed the entire country. On the eve of February, people are left without heating, water, or electricity.
I live here. My child is freezing.
In the middle of winter, with temperatures at -20, -30, Russia is freezing. And this isn't a natural disaster, it's the direct cost of war.
What on earth is going on?
So, a special military operation happened here.
The Kremlin, meanwhile, Russian propagandists are all shouting in unison to the Russians, endure it because that's the price of war.
War is an incredibly costly and expensive endeavor. War is not free, because all of us must pay a heavy price for this war, and for the special military operation.
My most respected Vladimir Vladimirovich.
A cry from the heart. Turn off YouTube, turn off Instagram, turn off WhatsApp. We're not fucking North Korea, damn it. We're Russia, for fuck's sake.
In reality, the country is collapsing into a wild economic crisis, precisely into that very stagflation.
Russia is being swept by mass protests.
Are you out of your mind? You've lost your mind. Do you understand that, authorities?
How is this even possible today?
War.
War.
Moscow, Petersburg, the regions.
It turns into a vicious circle. It's like with one hand you gave all this, and with the other hand you took everything away from the people. You abandoned authorities, you abandoned our people, you just abandoned them. We are declaring a hunger strike.
Moscow has been completely buried under snow. Snow drifts up to 60 centimeters, twice the climatic norm. The city has come to a standstill. Trucks are skidding and blocking the entrances to the capital.
All these are trucks lined up for Moscow. The road to Moscow is completely blocked. What a traffic jam. It's impossible to get into Moscow right now.
Leningradskoye, Gorkovskoye, Domodedovskoye highways, multi-kilometer traffic jams.
Our lane finally cleared, so we slowly started moving, and then everything just suddenly stopped and kept standing and standing and standing for a long time.
People are stuck for 5 or 6 hours without moving. Muscovites are getting out of buses and pushing them by hand. In the Roman residential complex, people are pushing a bus out of a snowdrift just to get to work. And on the MCAD, people are abandoning their cars and walking in crowds on foot.
Everyone's going up the hill like this, and we're all walking together on foot. Everything here is at a complete standstill.
It's faster this way than waiting for the system to start moving.
What on earth is going on?
I really want to show you the exact conditions we are forced to live in, thanks entirely to the work of our wonderful management company. It's pretty creepy. It's pitch dark, same as always.
Meanwhile, Moscow is experiencing a real snow collapse and an explosion at the CHP plant. Here it is, take a look. For the first time, 2 districts in Moscow have plunged into a blackout. The Moscow suburbs are a whole different reality. People are waiting in line at bus stops for an hour. There are two lines, one for those standing and another for those hoping to get a seat.
Things are getting worse and worse for us.
Everything is getting more expensive.
The situation is difficult. Honestly, we're looking to the future without optimism.
In Omsk, the first protests and riots have started. Minus 28 degrees, hundreds of homes without heating, electricity, or warmth for weeks.
Water is pouring out, boiling hot.
There was no frost. There was nothing to breathe.
At this very moment, it is practically like the middle of winter inside our stairwell. The boiler room itself is currently in an absolutely disastrous and dilapidated condition.
Freezing residents of Omsk staged an uprising on the roadway at the site of the pipe burst. They were fined by the traffic police. Let there be a traffic jam, everyone is freezing and the administration does nothing, the protesting residents declared. And it's the same in every city across Russia.
You abandoned us, the authorities. You abandoned our people. You just left us. We are miserable people.
It turns out to be a vicious circle.
It's like with one hand you gave us all this, and with the other hand you took everything away from the people.
I'm so scared about what's happening in our country, specifically about the issue of poverty.
We are setting an example for everyone of how not to live and how not to survive. And I constantly remember Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov and his words, "To save humanity, the atomic bomb should have been dropped on the Kremlin."
What is even going on?
I really want to show you the exact living conditions we endure here. All thanks to the actions of our so-called wonderful management company. It's creepy. The darkness has drilled through just the same.
I'm so scared about what's happening in our country right now, specifically the issue of poverty.
In order to stay in power forever, you need a constant enemy. You need a war that doesn't personally threaten you in any way.
A perfectly normal and entirely reasonable question naturally begins to arise. Exactly why is all of this happening right now? And this needs to be stopped somewhere?
Lately, since June, we've been experiencing delays in salary payments. Month after month, the delays stretch to a month and a half. Delays in vacation pay, travel allowances, advances, and everything else. Right now, the salary delay is already approaching 2 months. Of course, the situation is very tense and unpleasant, really unpleasant.
We are worried too. We are worried as well.
From our side, and I want to emphasize this again, we will not just let this go either.
We, for our part, are also concerned about the current situation.
When the guys are already switching to a 4-day work week.
There's even a 2-day work week now at the Tikvin railcar plant.
So here's the thing.
God is merciful, and maybe he'll spare us from yet another revolution with another guaranteed civil war. Well, we'd like to live a little longer, and yes, for our children to have a chance to live too. We don't need a revolution or a civil war in any form.
If we fight the way we are now by deploying masses of troops, we could really end up in an extremely unpleasant and tense situation, the very situation our enemy is counting on. We cannot allow that to happen.
Foreign internet messengers are increasingly becoming tools in the hands of scammers and terrorists of all kinds. WhatsApp and Telegram top this list.
I don't see the difference because scammers use both Telegram and Max just the same. We had the best education in the world, free and excellent housing for every family. Now a lot of people are just staying at home.
Where are all the people in all these windows?
Are they at least watching us? I'm really curious.
Prices for electronics will rise in Russia. The authorities want to introduce a technology tax.
A third of the heating and water supply pipelines are completely worn out.
So basically, that's it. Just look at St. Petersburg. Every now and then they replace something, and boom, a fountain. The organizer of today's rally in support of the president's course. For the motherland, for victory, for development, for Putin. The president is for the people. The people are for the president. An open letter to the president of the Russian Federation. Our inflation means empty shelves in families we can no longer feed. We are being killed by a quote from your own decree. Buried under the blanket you asked to be removed. We are not asking for charity, we are asking for life, for what you call the foundation of the economy. Today our country is fighting fascism in Ukraine. We support your decision, and now small businesses are forging victory together with our soldiers.